So I spent the last 2 weeks or so gathering everything I would need to make a YouTube channel. It's been a heck of a process. I've gotten a lot of help from my wife, friends like Efrain, Eric, Chris, just to get the ball rolling here, to work on this project. It's been about 7+ years or so since I've interacted with this platform. Me and Eric had a YouTube channel called Collector Mania, or I guess we still do have a YouTube channel called Collector Mania that focuses around the shop that we both work at. At the end of that journey, we had about 1,300 subscribers, had just become monetized, all that type of deal, and really had learned a ton. But as you know, life has a way of, getting in the way of those types of fun projects. I had a kid, then he had a kid, and then another kid, and then I had another kid. So we found all of that extra free time evaporate away from us. I have kind of circled back and, throughout the last couple of years, I've thought about making videos again, thought about, the process and how much fun I had doing it. And my schedule has cleared up a little bit, so I can actually jump back into this and try it again. Now, it's been really fun. I've watched quite a few videos on YouTube about the really cheesy ones on top 10 things you need to do to start your YouTube channel, or here's how to start your YouTube channel, and various other things like that. 90% of it is a lot of, probably baloney, generic baloney. But one of the main things that I did find, especially in the more, professionally put together videos, was a call to have a mission statement and a call to be authentic to yourself. So I did a lot of thinking, a lot of writing, so on and so forth, trying to find out what that is for me. And I think one of the main things that I keep coming back to is the, approach of trying to, how do we put this? I want to give you guys the confidence to do your projects. I guess that's, I'll try and find a more eloquent way to say that, in the future sometime. But, working where I do, and, having worked in this hobby for, 10+ years or so, I end up getting a lot of questions about, how do I start my first army, or how do I assemble my miniatures, how do I paint my miniatures, so on and so forth. And, oddly enough, I think one of the biggest barriers to entry of this whole process is taking that first step. It's fairly intimidating to stare at a pile of boxes that are sitting on your desk. You could have all the drive in the world to play a game, like Warhammer or, Marvel Crisis Protocol, all of those other ones that kind of loop back into the hobby. But if you never really find the motivation, or find yourself intimidated to start the process, you're never going to find that joy in this space. So, and to me, that's one of the, worst things that can happen, is somebody can't get into, miniature wargaming or, hobbying just because they're held back, because they think something's going to be, too hard for themselves, or it's going to be too overwhelming. I mean, over the last 10 years, I've really learned that it's a lot more procedural than most people think. You don't have to have a artsy-fartsy degree to complete your miniatures, 100%. That doesn't have to be a thing. But on the flip side of that, you can raise it up to that level. If you look at some of the best miniature painters from around the world, it blows my mind, some of the things that they achieve. And I am always on a personal journey to refine my skills and get better and better. And hopefully, as a, more personal take from this YouTube channel, it can also help me achieve my own personal goal of doing that. So really, to kind of wrap this all up, we are here to hopefully build a community that is focused on, helping each other out, helping each other take those first steps. I want to show you guys that it's not as intimidating or daunting as it seems from the outside. So yeah, hopefully you can join me in this crazy process, and we'll see you in the next video.